Thanks very much, everybody. It's great to see all your faces and feel your energy here in this very, very important and historic moment. Here we are, approaching June after a very interesting several months, ramping up, gearing up, doing all kinds of effort here, being out in the street, putting together materials, banners, and so forth, trying them out, trying different locations in the city, being in the subway, and it's been quite an experience. It's really, action, action is happening. Action is where it's at. The people you just saw stand up, they know. And I just want to say one thing about those people you saw stand up. These are samurais. They're not just your average actors. These are samurai people, and I salute you all. We've been having quite a bit of fun with petitioning in many respects. Street fairs. Everybody knows New York City street fairs, right? This big festival atmosphere, almost even carnival atmosphere. And people are out shopping, eating, and having a good time. And there they see us, with our banners and our clipboards and our little hang-on signs saying, voters of New York City, please sign the petition to get a true 9/11 independent investigation. With your signature, you can help us help the 9/11 families and first responders. How about it? Yes, we have a very big task ahead, but we can do this. The next 5 weeks, if just 300 people were to come out for about 25, 30 hours of their time, spare time over 5 weeks, which is very little. People spend more time, watching ball games, right? If we get 300 people to do that, 25, 30 hours over the next 5 weeks, we can reach 50 to 60,000 petition signatures. And how do we do that? Through every one of us emailing our friends, talking to our neighbors, saying, hey, for 5 weeks, are you up for something that would make worldwide history? Here, I'll just say this last thing. People rarely achieve great things in their comfort zone. Would you agree? Sorry about that. I didn't make that up. It's just the case, right? But the worst news is that people's primary commitment is to their comfort zone. Sorry, but that's the case too. But now the better news is that all you have to do is just operate out of your comfort zone for months and months at a time. Then it's normal. Make sense? That's what it's going to take. That is what it's going to take because of the the forces that we're up against. And if enough of us do it, though, we can make the difference. Because I ask you this. When you count the people who control government, media, and corporate decision-making, military decision-making, and the rest of us, who outnumbers who? We outnumber them, don't you think, like by, a couple of billion to 1? Never forget that. And tell everybody you know. Because when I tell that to people, a light goes off, and people realize, oh, yes, we can. We can do the work that is so necessary to bring about the change that needs to happen. So, okay. And next, I'd like to bring up a gentleman who we met, one of many, many very interesting people that we met while being out in the street petitioning. And he saw our sign and came up, and he was very moved by what we were doing. And he told us his story, which I'll let him share. Then he stayed and did some petitioning with us for several days, and we're very grateful to have him and hear his message. Chris? Chris, come on up. This is a gentleman who is a family member. and a witness for 9/11. This is Chris Burke.
You know, before September 11th, if my brother Tom were walking by this event this evening or walking by Union Square when these guys over there or those guys back there were collecting signatures, he'd have leaned over to me into my ear and said, "Those guys are real commies." He's about as far right as I am probably left. After September 11th, if my brother could lean over and whisper in my ear, I think he'd probably say, "Those guys are real Americans." Because unfortunately, I think my brother knows what's in Area 51, knows who killed Kennedy, and knows what happened on September 11th. Because he was up on the 105th floor with all my buddies at Cantor Fitzgerald where I worked, and today they're all dead. And you know what? I'm not a structural engineer, and I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a first responder, but I know what I know, and I know what I saw, and I know what I heard, and I know what I felt, and I know that our government is lying to us. I heard earlier Father begin to mention perhaps the feelings of 9/11 families and about dredging this horrible tragedy up again. The horrible tragedy is the lie we're being told, okay? There's nothing we can do today to bring my brother, my friends, and any of those other 3,000 Americans back. They're gone. But there is a lot that we can do to bring those responsible out from the shadows. And that's exactly what needs to happen. You know, I hate to sound cliche-ish, or I don't care how I sound, but, you know, it was Margaret Mead who said, "Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." I think it would be awful good if the people in this room were part of that spark that made it happen. You can be. You can reach out to your friends. If everyone in this room got out and gave some hours and petitioned and got 2 friends, 2 enemies, two people not in a coma to go out and collect some signatures, you know what? This could happen. This really isn't about 9/11 family members, though. This is not a 9/11 family issue. This is an American issue. And I'm telling you, I know you feel it too. You feel your own country just slipping through your fingers. Do you feel it? Do you hear that sound? I hear it. I hear it. And it's going. And most people are not doing one good goddamn thing about it. Sorry, Father. This is something that can be done. And I'll tell you what, get the signatures. And you know what, I have to be honest. I was out there after I met these guys out on the street, and I got involved that day, starting collecting signatures. And I came back, and I came back, and I came back. And it did dredge 9/11 up for me. And you know, I went home at night, and you know what, I had some bad nights. But I have a lot of bad nights, okay? And that's no excuse. I finally told myself, that's why I came back here tonight. So you know what? I'm going to get back involved. I'm going to be back out there with you guys collecting signatures. And you know what? Let's get the signatures. And then, wait a minute. Then let's see what happens with the city council. Let them say no. Let them turn you down. Then here's my promise to you. I will go to all the 9/11 family groups, which I know personally, the people who run these groups, and then I'll get them involved, okay? I'll light a fire under their asses, and then we'll see what the I don't know what we want to call the media. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what they have to say then. Because you know what? I will drum up a shitstorm if the city council says no. But you know what? They're not going to say anything if we can't get the signatures. So the onus is right now not on the media, it's not on NORAD, and it's not on the city council. It's on the people in this room. It's on the onus is on a few committed citizens to change the world. We can do it, but it's got to start tonight. It's got to start tonight, and it's got to go through June. Let's do it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, man.